What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Frank here, the Red Tie Guy. So recently Monolith Games had their 11th, I do believe it's their 11th live stream event regarding Middle-earth Shadow of War, and in my opinion it was the best one they've had so far. Not only did they have Michael the Platter back, but they finally showed us some proper gameplay of Shadow of War. The gameplay was heavily focused on a fort assault, but I recommend you guys check out the full live stream, which you can find in the link in the description below. So the gameplay started about halfway through the story during an assault in Nirn, and apparently the game was set on medium difficulty. It is a fair difficulty setting for a stream, because they did want to show some features of the game, although the character wasn't invulnerable, because Talion did die during the stream a couple of times. Talion was about level 26 and the build of the game was a bit older for those worried about the quality of the game. This was the level apparently that the press was able to play last week, as you've seen them covering it on various media sites. They basically showed off an entire fort assault, and it begins with a mission marker right in the front. You can plan your army right before that, going to the army screen where it will show allied and enemy captains. It was nice to see that you can choose bodyguards to help you during the final battle with the Overlord, so you should be careful when choosing one. If your bodyguard dies during the battle before the fight with the Overlord, then obviously you will not have one to protect you there. After that, you can choose your siege upgrades to use during the assault. You can see the fort's defenses such as iron gates, poison siege beasts, and stone walls. You can also see the offensive upgrades from your different war chiefs. Each one has about 3 different unique upgrades to choose from. Once that is completed, then the battle begins, and there's actually a really nice conversation going on right before the battle.
Into the mud before our mighty gates. Now's the time to strike, boss. On your order, of course.
They should thank us for bringing war to their gates. Instead, they spout nonsense. I say we should go in there and teach them some manners.
All right. Oh yeah, that helmet's been gotten pretty popular because you can't see through it really.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. I know yourself.
When the actual assault begins, you are basically free to attack the fort as you wish. However, it will be recommended that you take out the siege beasts of the enemy. You can also use your own siege beasts in any way that you desire. During the battle, you can also manage your allies who are in trouble and whom you wish to use later on. For example, you can either shun them, ask them to stay and fight, or tell them to retreat. It was interesting to note that the bodyguard they chose during the live stream did die, but he left a ring behind. Not only that, his name was engraved within that ring, thus you'll forever remember the sacrifice he did. There are 3 objectives to defeat and war chiefs to kill, and only once that is done, then you can move inside to face the Overlord. Once the battle is done and you defeated the Overlord, the fortress will be yours as well as the region. After you chose a new Overlord, you'll be able to see the weapon you received from defeating the Overlord. They did mention that any weapon you might have missed does get added to your inventory, which is a nice touch. They also showed off the assault for the second time, but with a more stealth-like approach, thus marking the war chief before the time. Forts are fully explorable without the assault actually taking place, thus giving you a number of ways to take down a fortress. If you die from the Overlord though, you don't have to repeat the entire assault, but if you do die repeatedly, then it'll give the enemies time to level up, and thus you'll eventually have to redo the assault. As I said, they focused heavily on the fort assault during the stream and not too much on other questions. A few minor questions was answered during the stream, but seeing as the assault was the main focus, these were the key points I took away from the stream. As I said, I do recommend you guys watch the entire stream, as it definitely was the best one so far. But from the highlights of the fort assault, what are you guys most excited about? Let me know in the comment sections below, and are there any questions regarding the fort assault? You can be sure a lot of Shadow of War content is coming very soon, so be sure to click that subscribe button. If you like this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give me a thumbs down, but please tell me why so I can improve my videos. My name is Frank, I'm the Red Tie Guy, and frankly, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.